Okay, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to September, second episode here on Riverbend Springs for the Survive 25 challenge. As was discussed in episode 1, but the challenge brought to you or created by Rusty Money Gaming and with help from Crustu. So this is going to be... This will be an interesting episode. We've got a little bit of housekeeping stuff to do. I got to figure out how to make some money. We're gonna need to get a field. We got some work to do. Whether or not we get the field, we'll see. Because I'd like to also get in more sheep. So I don't know. We're in the early stages of this challenge that could last a lifetime, so to speak. But we gotta just play it safe as we go here. So a few things that I did since the last time we met. I grabbed a couple collectibles as I was tooling around the map, just as I was driving around the places that I could remember where they were. I grabbed them. I think it was 3 baling contracts. One of them was quite large, and the other 2 were reasonable, but did definitely make some money there. And then I bought a chainsaw and cut down the trees along the road here. I wanted to cut these trees down here because I do want to get another sheep pen in here, and I didn't want to be working around the trees. So this will give us sort of a nice squarish area to put the pen in, which could then, I think, what did I say? The pen over there holds about 50 sheep. So if we can get one in that's about the same size or larger, then we'd be over 100 sheep, and we'd be in good shape for wool production. It's just a question of how fast these little buggers are going to make wool for us. So this is not coming along super quick. This, what do we got? 259 liters of wool there. So notice that now we have 17,000 liters of meadow grass showing up. So I think it just took time. I guess you don't put the facilities down and then immediately expect it to recognize the meadow grass. So it is working after all. So the nice thing about that is the grass that we have available for them to eat. My thinking is that they're probably going to be eating the meadow grass alongside the bales that we have, which will slow the consumption of the bales and allow us to kind of stretch them further. I guess the ideally, because in the wintertime, I understand the grass dies. We want to make sure that we have plenty of these grass bales. So anyways, so that's cool. So these guys are doing well. We got 45 of, I think 57 was the total we could have in here. Yeah, 57. So we could at some point add some more, but I did want to allow room for growing, obviously. It says reproduction 20%. So they were a little ways away before we're going to get to start producing new sheep. But I think having that other pen, maybe we max out this pen, or we should probably always keep a bit of a buffer, because I don't know how overpopulating works in FS25. Okay, let's put the rear weight on. We're gonna head over to the store because I want to grab a log grab so we can clean up our yard, and then I want to grab a front cultivator. So we're gonna go out and pick up a few contracts right away. Which should pay for the cultivator anyways, the cultivating contracts that are out there right now. And then, let's see, is that field over here? Yeah, this first field up on the left-hand side here is probably the closest within reach for us as far as being able to afford to purchase a field. I think this is withered. Oh no, these potatoes. Remove foliage. Shoot, okay, these things are basically almost ready to harvest. I kind of thought that was withered and dead and we were going to get to pick it up. So there's a field over there. Basically, I want to start planting grass. I want to start getting some grass planted so we'll at least get one cut before winter. Let's check the field on the other side there. Yeah, because right now I don't have any... By the time we put the next sheep enclosure in and really leave room for a yard, that property that we have is not going to be we're not going to plant anything there. It's going to be greenhouses, buildings, and sheep. So while not a huge piece of property, we do eventually, I want to own the one right in front of us. and these 2 fields here, and I think that would be enough grass for us to really feed our empire, and then also supplement with silage sales. So if we bought this, we couldn't obviously take anything off of it right away because there's nothing, like, it's not like I can mow it and do anything with it, but we can get it planted, and then let's just check to see how far over this goes. Lots of rocks here. Okay, so the chances of us being able to scoop a few trees, these trees are worth, when they're wood, when you sell the wood chips at top value, they're worth like almost 10 grand each. So it's good money. So maybe we'll do that. I have my eyes on this lot, and then I have my eyes on one more lot that I want to use for like sell points. Not sell points, but if I'm gonna build any production, I want to build it on this lot. So we'll go look at that after as well. A little less immediate clarity as we go into today, and more, let's see what opportunities pop up. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 cultivation contracts, so we may pull 10, 12 grand off of that, and then I know there's other contracts that are popping up. If we can get a mowing contract, then we will send the mower out. We're kind of ready to attack whatever comes up, while we slowly creep towards making money. Also, there's a few collectibles that I remember. Locations. Wait, there's one. We're gonna grab one right now. Actually, I think there's one just around the corner here. So if you don't want to see where the collectibles are, don't watch this next second here. Close your ears. Yeah, I have no qualms in picking up as many collectibles up front here as I possibly can. Okay, so you're not watching, right? Alright, don't watch. Alright, I mean, if you look now, then you're just going to see the rough area where I was. So it's all good, man. Okay, so we want front cultivator, and we want front cultivator and log grab, so we can get that yard cleaned up. So let's see if the store has corrected itself. No. What does that thing do? I think you got to put that on that giant machine, right? All right, so at 4.5 meters, 4.5 meters, this cultivator is quite a bit large, quite a bit more expensive than the $17,000 is quite a bit more expensive than this John Deere at $9,500. But when combined with the cedar, so this is 4.5 meters. When you combine that with this Great Plains cedar, which will somehow try to afford that unless we just lease it, that's you can put this one on the back, put the other one on the front, and now you've got a cultivating and seeding duo. So in the event that you need to do both, you can. We may lease it though, because I mean, with grass, once you plant it, you don't have to worry about it again. So I don't know, we'll see. This is very much a fluid operation. But we're gonna purchase this. We're going to go to loader attachments. It's a little awkward having the loader arms on at the same time as the front cultivator, but it does work. You just got to get these things way up out of the way. Okay, so let's take this back, and then we'll put the cultivator on the other tractor, and we'll get it set up for the contracts. And then while there's people out there doing the work for us, we can move all of the wood around on our yard. So the plan for the wood, actually I played around with a number of scenarios off camera, and it appears as though we don't have a silo right now that will store wood chips. I couldn't get any of the. I tested all the sort of drive over. Well, the ones that were affordable. I'm not putting in $100,000 silo right now just to store some wood chips, but it didn't look like we had any way to store wood chips, which is interesting. I'm sort of just dumping them on the ground and picking them up later. So that kind of sucked. So I figured that I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to, all the trees that we cut down, we're going to have to basically move the wood aside. And I'll address the planks in a second here, because we do need planks to do our construction project. But I'll move the wood aside, and then in, I think it's like December, sometime around December, we'll lease a wood chipper and we'll chip up all of the wood. Some of the larger pieces, I think, that are very difficult to get into the wood chipper that is available in the cell there, we will look to turn into planks. How I'm going to do that, I still don't know. I can lease with the lease productions mod, where you can go and lease the productions around the map. I can go and I can actually lease the sawmill for, I believe it's like $800 a month. So that seems pretty spicy, and I don't know how quickly it produces anything, but we could do that, because let's drop this. This farm here is not a forestry farm, so I'm not going to buy a sawmill, because this is supposed to be like fabric focused, I guess. So a temporary solution for me here makes sense, but I do need to get the materials for the construction project. Now, in saying that, I priced out the first. I need 1,000 liters of planks, 1,000 liters of wood beams, and 1,000 liters of planks long, I think, for this, to get this first step done for this house. So I may just buy that. It's less than 10 grand. Which that would mean we would have, if I bought those, it would mean we'd have about $11,000 into the house, or into the shed, sorry, because we spent $1,000 to put down. And then, so if we kind of start to manage our costs that way, I should look to see what it costs to actually put the building in. But if we try to, as long as the building comes in at less money than what it would have cost us to just buy the building pre-made, then I think we're in good shape. But okay, let me go look at these contracts here and get those set up so we can get rolling there. All right, I grabbed the first two that were fairly close to us, so let's go attack those right away. Each one's worth a little less than 2 grand, so it is what it is. We're not getting rich off these, but it is going to give us some money to work with. There are a couple of mowing contracts that have popped up, so we will likely go and take those after we get these. After we do these two cultivation contracts, there's like 3 more, I think, so that'll work for us. Oh, okay, we're working for our neighbor here. This fence could potentially be a problem, but we'll see. Just depends on how far back he wants to go. All right, go make us some money, dude, and don't charge me too much. All right, like I said, for now we're going to clean up the yard. So this wood is a pain in the backside. Trying to work with this stuff sucks. I want to move it the least amount I need to, but I also don't want to lose it, meaning that, like for example, if I put it on another piece of property, I don't want to all of a sudden not have access to it. So, well, I would just kind of like to push it up against the tree line. I don't want to risk pushing it too far. So let's see how this goes. There was no way that I was going to cut all this wood on camera. It is a nightmare to deal with. And when I have graphics deteriorating, the first stuff to go for me is the wood. I've not found any sort of reliable process when it comes to this. There we go. Alright, so maybe what we'll do is we'll put it all up at the corner there with the other wood that you can see by the bales. So a note on the bales. Oh, actually, I guess we gotta talk about the greenhouses too, because I think that might have gone in after we met. So the bales themselves, I managed to, what I thought, grab a few straw bales as I was done my baling contracts. It said completed. I had partial bales still in the baler, so I have the mod that allows you to unload a partial bale. So I came over here, unloaded the partial bales, and then when I accepted the contracts, the only bale that remained was that one. The other ones all vanished. So in the past, where you used to be able to just take everything, I guess you can't do that anymore. Which is fine. I mean, I probably shouldn't be, stealing from my neighbors, but I just figured because there was contract was done and there was still some straw in the baler that maybe we'd be okay, but not the case. So the difference. So right now, wood chips are at about $200 per 1,000 liters, but they go up to almost $600 at their high point. So that's why I just could not justify just selling, like chipping off all this wood right now. And I honestly didn't know how much out of these branches we would get for how much we would make, first of all, and then how much wood we could get out of these if we wanted to try to make planks and stuff. But if I can save up enough of the sort of larger wood pieces, and then lease the sawmill for this farm, because obviously, like I said, I'm not gonna put in a sawmill somewhere for a sheep farm, but we are gonna have a number of trees we want to process. So if I can basically stockpile any larger pieces, and obviously the smaller branches and stuff until the price is right, then we'll have we'll lease the sawmill, and we'll also do like a big wood chip-a-thon. And then as far as the wood chips themselves are concerned, I probably don't need to put in there's a bio heating mod, I guess. At one point I thought, well, I'll just put that on a vacant lot and then I can just sell to my own sell point. But in the end, there's enough options to sell wood chips on the map that we should be fine. I kind of was thinking maybe I would get all this done before we met again and just have all the wood already in a pile, but why not suffer? We bought something new, and we still have these weird invisible collisions on things where it's almost like there's an invisible branch that's affecting what we can do. So if you know of a way to store wood chips that I've just not figured out, then let me know. But I believe when we were storing them on Maz, we were storing them in a modded multi-fruit silo, which literally was programmed to take everything. I don't think any of the base game silos are programmed to take wood chips. So the good news, I did not lose any wood under the map. The first 52 hours that I ended up deleting, I must have lost like 24 trees under the map. Huge pieces of wood just gone forever. So we don't need to worry about that little pile there right now. This corner is not going to get developed as fast as the rest. So I am pretty certain that these greenhouses went in after we hung out in the first episode. So I have three greenhouses. One's a double, and I have so that double sort of is the one that you can grow tomatoes, chili peppers, garlic, basically all the stuff you'd want for a farmer's market, of which there is a farmer's market right up the road I can sell directly to. So that's what's growing in the sort of glass one there. And then the other two are mushrooms, which I think you've probably now seen everybody who is running a series on this map put in the mushroom greenhouses. I wanted to put in the larger ones, but it's just so much more money. I probably in the end would have made more sense, but and then I didn't want to put in too much because obviously there's a shed being built there, and I don't know. I have a rough idea of how the shed's going to be situated when it grows up, but anyways, I didn't want to place too much before I knew exactly what the whole layout was going to be. So in regards to the greenhouses, so my hope is that in this area that we're just about to drive, I may mirror those greenhouses with another set, but I just didn't want to get too. I don't want to overextend myself early on here, and I mean those greenhouses are not fast when it comes to producing, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to put in a whole bunch of things that aren't going to make us money, quickish. All right, so I'm going to get the rest of this stuff put to the side, and then we're probably going to go, and I'll likely in that time also move the cultivator over to another contract. And then I think after that, after this is all cleaned up, we'll probably go grab a couple of the collectibles that I know where they are, that I can remember anyways. Some of them we're just going to have to remember as we drive around. Come on. And then I think I have probably actually not one, but maybe two pieces of property that will pick up, and then with the intention of getting some grass into them. One of them I'm on the fence with whether we're going to put grass into it or not, or whether we're going to leave it as an industrial yard. But we'll see. Actually, no, you know what? We will put grass, because I'd like to buy the spinnery that's on the map, and then if we're going to be making clothes, I'd like to buy the clothes maker, the tailor or whatever it is. And then if that production's not fast enough and I have the money, then we can always put in a building afterwards. But we'll worry about, where we're going to do that later on. So yes, there is another lot. There's two lots. We saw the one already, which is relatively affordable, at like 80 grand, I think. Before I move this up to the other contracts, I just wanted to take a quick look at this property right here. So this is one of a couple of properties that don't have anything on them, and I think this might be the first one we look at. This is not going to be a big field by any means, and yes, we can definitely chop it up and put some grass on it. We can immediately mow it and take some grass off of it. I don't honestly think any of these trees along the edge here are part of this property, but let's just see, because we may want to clean some of this up. Yeah, it kind of goes right over to the road here, so we could potentially take. I bet you these trees, once chipped up and sold at their max price, would pay for the property. Yeah, so at $40,000, I'm not even gonna just think about it. Let's just do it. So we'll probably get this cleaned up and then try to get it planted with grass. It's September now. I think you can plant through October, and if that's the case, then I think we potentially get a November cut off of it. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but yeah, I think okay, so that's good. So we have that field there. You should see as we go by here, I got all of the wood off the far side there moved over, and then I was just getting. You can see where my tractor's parked there. I was just getting a few more pieces there. So we're gonna get this guy into the, like I had mentioned, we're gonna get this guy into the next contract, and then we're gonna go around and grab a couple of the collectibles that I remember where they are, and then yeah, I guess we'll get to work on our new piece of land there. It's not massive by any means, but it should work for us. There's a bunch of weird stuff down there. It's like so many. I love what they did with the collectibles on this map, making them the old museum pieces, because it definitely, like, it creates a whole new layer there where you're looking for things that aren't just like a pink toy tractor, for example. You're looking for real items, which is cool. Is this accessible, or is this off the map? I've never seen this little covered bridge. So you start to suspect things like this. And you wonder what is a collectible and what isn't, because often the collectibles look like they're a part of a building. I don't see anything under here. Look at this epic building. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know. I think I've been here before. Let's just take a quick peek up here for a second. Nope, I'm not where I'm not where I thought I was. There's a cave somewhere that I found that had a collectible in it, which was kind of funny. What is this? Is this Spinnery? Wool World. Willa's Wool World. Okay, so we're going to own this at some point here, right? $180,000. Yeah, it's the Spinnery. Okay, so this will be ours. Please take good care of our building. Yeah, see, look at all this stuff. You kind of have to walk around a little bit and watch your... Oh, look at this. I bet you this typewriter. Haha. See that? It's just funny. It looks like junk. But meanwhile, it's a collectible. So once they're all collected, obviously, there's no more opportunity for, you know, $10,000 bills. But there's at a total of 25 of them, there's $250,000 in collectibles. So it's not chump change by any means, but you know, it's going to help us for sure. Kind of sort of goes without saying. $250,000 would help anybody, right? I like that Spinnery. I love the productions. Like the productions they've put into this map are all look amazing. The paper factory or whatever it is so cool. All right, so we're getting over here near the hippie farm. Kind of like an older looking guy there, or just maybe Swedish. Okay, yeah, so I was just grabbing the final chunks here. This wood is fairly light. So in FS22 we had the ability to set our we could choose between a max 100 kilogram or 200 kilogram as being able to pick up without, you know, using any kind of a weird mod. Right now it looks like we're just set to default 200 kilograms, so we're able to pick up some hefty stuff. Alright, I didn't need to move these ones over here, but I figured we might as well just clean it all up. Okay, so our new piece of property there could prove to be a bit of a challenge because where am I going to put the wood? All right, let's go grab collectible number 1. I think I can think of, off the top of my head, I can think of 2 right now that we could go and grab that I remember where they are. Let's call it 3. One of them's near a mowing contract that we might be able to grab later, but I'm just going to grab these quickly now before I forget. Alright, so guaranteed there's one down here, so if you want to not know about it, then close your eyes. Let me just try to remember where. Have to remember to come for dinner down here at some point. So here's the funny thing about this boat. I'll just switch into build mode for a second here. I found no way onto the rooftop patio of this boat. I've tried to jump from all kinds of different angles. I'm suspicious of the fact that there's a collectible up there that I haven't been able to access, but there's these people up there and they can't get down. So it's like, I think they're just stuck there forever. So I think with that yard there is I'll probably have to immediately clear what I can in regards to trees, because there's no sense in cutting a field and then coming back in and having to cut down a bunch more trees, and we might as well get it all done at once. So if I can get a bunch of the trees cleaned up, I just don't know where I'm going to put them. But anyways, get that stuff cleaned up, and then once that's cleaned up, I'll get we'll get the cedar, and then we'll put some grass in. I'm kind of thinking we looked at that one other lot. I think it was like $100,000. If I can somehow figure out how to swing that, it would be a good one. We have $117,000 right now. We don't have an immediate need to spend any money necessarily. This plot here is 85,000. So we'd have, like, even if I bought it right now, we'd have like 30 grand left. These collectibles are 10 grand a piece, which really helps. Yeah, we might do that, and if we bought that piece of land, then we could plant grass on both it and the new piece of property, and then we'd have some small grass fields anyways, but we'd have the fields. All right, again, if you don't want to know where collectibles are, then close your eyes, please. Maybe count to 100 or something like that. Okay, everybody who's watching. Alright. It's a good thing you can't take fall damage. Alright, I got a worker to bring back our other smaller John Deere there that was picking up collectibles. This guy who's done the one contract, and then another one popped up right around the corner here that pays a little over 5 grand, so we're going to grab that one right now. It's another cultivation contract here. Alright, so we got the Denim Albino back on the job. Thank you for your service. Alright, let's go back in and collect on that other one. $5,300 there, and then we have once that one's done, and we'll probably flip down to, well, we still have some reasonably priced contracts here, but I think we're kind of heading back. Unless something pops up in this direction, maybe we won't worry about that. Let's look down here. There's a couple of harvesting contracts that pay, but these are not fun. I guess it doesn't have to be fun. You literally just have to set a worker up and then start carting. But I saw the mowing contracts down here. Yeah, you know what? Maybe what we'll do, let's set up this. We'll set up this P contract so we can get, and we'll borrow the equipment because that's going to pay us about $8,000. Then we can go cut some trees down on our new property. And by the end of the day, we should be putting in some grass seed, I think. You know what? Maybe we're better off taking these two right now. But it's $12,000 over 2 contracts versus 93. But how those green beans are not the fastest either, are they? Same bigger equipment, but same rental cost. So you know what? Let's just do this. Let's go. Let's regret this later. So we'll borrow the items for this one, and then we'll accept the contract for this one. Okay, so we have a worker there. We have another worker who's already completed the job. Wow, that was not an easy. I wouldn't have thought that was an easy one for them to do, but they did it. So let's get this off the road. Let's get this thing to where it needs to go. So we're going to be So it'd be nice if we had follow me, because I'd get a worker just to follow me right now on our way. But anyways, we'll get this across the. I don't think we've taken the ferry together, so let's just head down to the ferry, and then we'll kind of advance ourselves over to the field. All right, we got across there safely. Hopefully that never sinks, or like you get in rough water or something. Maybe it breaks down and your equipment is stranded in the middle of the river. I think, as most people are realizing, contracts are definitely the way to get things rolling here. Unless you're starting with $1 million in the bank, and you don't owe any money or whatever, and you can kind of do whatever you want. Yeah, you really got to get these contracts going. Unless you're walking into a pre-existing farm that already has crops and everything. I guess that's a different story. I might just pull over as we get up here quickly. It's another amazing building right there. I think it's a production. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I'm just gonna run in here. We're essentially on our way up to the field that we're supposed to harvest, but let me just go look in here. Close your eyes again, folks. Thank you very much. I just wanted to get this trailer over here. I had the harvester already going. In hindsight, I definitely should not have taken the ferry. I forgot the other route was a lot faster, but it's an interesting piece of property I just passed over here. These are farms, I guess, but this is literally like I don't know what you would call this. It's like kind of just a weird piece of property here in the middle of town. I like properties like this. I tend to gravitate towards stuff that doesn't make sense, and this one, yeah, this is just kind of a weird piece of property. $70,000 in the middle of town. Maybe it's not for this farm. Maybe we keep this in mind for one of our future farms. Because, I mean, remember, we do have to make 3 farms, right? So this is just a neat piece of land. It wouldn't make sense for me to come all the way over here and try to build put a grass field in, but I think we might want to remember this for future. All right, so these guys got themselves under control. This guy is over here doing his thing. We're taking this one over to our new piece of land, where I'm going to struggle to take care of the trees that are there. So let's go see what that actually means for us. Let's go peek together, and then I may just rip down a bunch of trees, and then we can kind of take stock. All right, we shut that off because gas is not cheap. So if I look, everything that is essentially along like yeah, other than a small like oh no, we kind of go right over. Yeah, I think it's like everything here, all the trees. There's no normal trees. Where's like the pine trees or whatever they are? Oh, the jump is here. All right, we gotta get ourselves a motorcycle at some point. So this path is not our land. But this is. I wish there was a way to store wood chips, because honestly, the amount of the amount of wood that we're going to take out of here just to get this lot set up the way we want, I just don't know where I'm going to put this wood. So I'd love to be chipping it up right now and putting it somewhere to store, but it's not necessarily going to be the way it works for us. So let's just look here. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go to town. Look at the graphics are already falling apart here. I'm going to go to town and cut down a bunch of trees, and then we'll figure out where we're at. I'm not putting you guys through this, so let's see how long this takes. Okay, whoa, that was substantial. I got working on this field here, and then contracts, and picked up some more cultivating contracts, and then went on a bit of a binge looking for collectibles. And now it's let's see, when I left you in game was like noon. Now it's well, okay, yeah, so it was 12. It was almost like 12 o'clock on the dot when I left you guys, and now it's 15:01. So it's like about 3.5 hours in game. But I mean, it's in real life it wasn't that much because I was playing around with the time. Actually, it's still at 2 there. I got to change it, but and I had $140,000 in the bank. Now I got $156,000. But if you look here, yeah. So this is our farmland here, where this. Plus the one here that I was working on clearing out. And then I purchased this one here for $85,000. So we bought that. Here, let's go into the stats quickly. Well, first we'll go into here. Stats. So I've now found 15 of 25 collectibles. This is what our day, this is so far what September looks like. We bought, for 20 grand, we bought, I think it was that cultivator and something else. Bought a chainsaw. Well, not much for construction costs. Bought land. Here's where it gets a little crazy. But from the contracts, the green beans, was it green beans? We made $2,500. I've now, this may be one of the bigger days for contract income. I don't think I'm typically in the $50,000 range. I'm not sure that I've ever had anything close to $70,000. But like I said, I did get kind of crazy. I was doing some of them myself anyways. We're down to $8,000 that we've paid out to workers, and there's the $150,000 in collectibles. So what a day it's been, folks. We're in the green on the day anyways, but we're down to $156,000. So I discovered something else also. I was doing a little bit of research trying to figure out what to do with all this wood, because I really don't want to have it just sitting around until December, because honestly, if you look here, this is our field. I want to maximize this working area. This is kind of unfortunate. This thing here, I don't know how to get rid of that. So we're going to have to work around whatever that is. But I'm assuming we can cultivate like these rocks here. Yeah, like I can paint these rocks out. So I think this is a cool addition to the game. This, I don't know what that is, but I mean, map makers obviously are able to paint in rocks. And then see how it takes everything. It takes the root structures. It takes everything out of there. So that really smooths it out. So I think I can come in here with the cultivator and make this work. So I originally was going to go right to the edge of here, but then this thing here just kind of screwed me up. So what we'll probably end up doing is creating grass field like this across here, maximize out the borders here. So anyways, regardless, this massive pile of wood here, I got to do something with it. I can't just leave it there. And I don't want to bring it all the way over here, because that just seems like a pain in the ass trying to handle it twice. It almost looks like it's more wood than what I even have over here. So I think before I can dream of cultivating or putting a field in over here, we got to deal with that wood. Now, I've got till, I believe, November anyways to plant grass, so it's not the end of the world. When we mow this, I will get some grass off of here, so we'll have some more winter food for our sheep. But as far as this wood's concerned, I got to get it gone. So I discovered, I kind of jumped out of the game and realized that, yes, so I discovered that we actually have storage available to us with that will store wood chips down at the, oh shoot, that's not gonna be good. Crap. I was pushing this around with the wood, like the wood log grabber tool, and I don't have that. It's at the other piece of property. So let's see if this will push. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to move this out of the way, buddy. What the heck? Okay, hold on. Yeah, let me get the chainsaw out. We'll just hand bomb some of this. Oh, actually, how heavy is this? This is a light tree. This wood is pretty light. Not light enough. Alright, just emergency chainsaw work here, dude. What the hell? That guy does not look happy. Plaid shirt guy in his Subaru Outback. Whatever the hell that is. Anyways, yes. So down at the rail yard, close to the store, we have, there's a silo. So we're able to use that silo. And it stores wood chips. I don't know what the capacity of the silo is because it doesn't actually, I don't see that it actually tells you at all. But the bottom line is it allows me to put wood chips in there and take wood chips out. So we're gonna do that. Is it cheesy going down to use the community silo to store the wood chips? I don't even care, to be honest with you. I just need to get them stored somewhere until we get our opportunity to sell them. So let's get out of this freak's way. There you go, freak. Yeah, I just want to be able to put them somewhere so when it's time to sell, we can sell. Yeah, because if I look at prices, yeah, so wood chips right now are sitting in the $200 range, but look at January, $541. So they're going to be worth a lot. And I think by that point we should have a ton of wood chips stored for a nice cash infusion. We're going to pick up a wood chipper and a trailer. Oh shoot. Okay, we're going to pick up the wood chipper and then we're going to pick up the trailer. Shit. Duh. Anyways, yeah, so we should have a stockpile of wool by the time January hits, and then we should have a substantial amount of wood chips that we can sell at that point, which would enable us to buy the spinnery. And if we're really lucky, who knows, maybe we can buy the clothing factory as well. And then, or maybe we end up just leasing the clothing factory, but we own the spinnery. I don't know. I'm definitely going to own the spinnery. I think that's only right that we own it. But maybe we, yeah, who knows? Maybe we lease the clothing factory. But yeah, that should put us in a good spot. And then as we roll into the spring, that should also then enable us to have some funds in order to start looking at building our next farm, I think. The collectibles, yeah, I went kind of crazy. I even found some stuff that I had never found before. Just figured, you know, like I could use the cash infusion now. Let's get ourselves off the ground, and then. I mean, there's nothing survival about this. I mean, we started with money. I have the ability to borrow money. Like, I think it's based on the equity in your land. So I think I can more or less borrow the equivalent of the property we own. So, you know, we're not in any tough spot. The tough spot for us is cost, because everything is, like, there's nothing cheap. From when I started recording this to now, some mods were released. So there is actually a Kloss trailer that we're gonna purchase, and which is good. There's no less expensive option for wood chips. Nothing's changed here. Yeah, so in trailers we now have this Kloss trailer, so it's actually pretty good value, because for 20 grand we can hold 22,500 liters of, in this case it'll be wood chips for 20 grand. Like 26,000, 27. So like the TARDIS stuff came out too. I'm not a fan of like the unrealistic capacity, but there's like, you know, I like the way this trailer looks, don't get me wrong, and you can change so much. Oh wait, you can't change. I thought you could change body color. No, it's always blue. For overall value, I think we're looking at the Kloss. So we're going to use this. We're going to hand bomb. I think I checked. It's like $5 grand to lease it. Oh, there's the stuttering. Yeah, I'm definitely having some issues in the shop there, but let's lease that. So this will enable us to get kind of this first wave of trees chipped, which we have a good amount of trees that we can do right now. So I think it should more than enough when we do go and sell the wood chips, pay for the $5,600 we just had to pay to lease. Oh, sorry. I don't feel too bad because I've been getting cut off like crazy. It's like I'm invisible. Yeah, eventually I'd like to own the wood chipper. I think it'll be a good tool for any of our farms. The way this challenge works, I can't have, I can't necessarily I don't believe I can just share the wood chipper between farms. I think the farms have to stand on their own, but I may look to clarify that with Rusty and Crustu. For example, if I have a harvester, can I use it on multiple farms? I mean, they're going to be standalone farms in that they, don't share, they don't feed each other product or anything like that, but maybe we can share equipment. I don't know. But so we will own this at some point, but we don't now. But we do have a lot of stuff to chip. So yeah, by the end of this quick little session here, quick, as I'm hand bombing chunks of wood into this thing, I'll have everything cleaned up from both the new lot and the first lot that we bought. I don't believe there's anything down on the other piece that I bought that we need to clear out, but we can take a quick look at that. And then we can focus on creating a field. And then we're gonna go down here first. Yeah, then we can focus on creating a field down at this lot we're heading to right now, and probably then September, second day of September, and maybe even so much as the next episode, we can plant the grass and then figure out what we're doing there. So I feel like we're getting a pretty good start here. Taking large strides towards whatever it is we're going to be doing. I was looking quite heavily at this field right here. I think it looks like a good opportunity, but unfortunately it comes with a house down at the bottom and some other buildings, so it ends up being about almost $160,000, of which we definitely don't need all that stuff. All right, so this should work out perfectly. So I'll be chopping up and hand bombing wood chips wood into here. We will go and grab a trailer with this. And then we'll basically be carting, let's leave the weight here. And then we'll basically be carting, a bit of a distance, unfortunately, but at least we have that available to us. All right, so under trailers, this is our trailer. So it has the extension. I think we might as well go with the black. Let's get it all painted black. Like, for example, it looks like it had rotted out and we just had it all painted. It looks silly if I do it all in Kloss color. It'd be nice if I could change the color on top. Anyways, that's small potatoes. All right, so we're going to buy this trailer because we are going to be using this trailer over time. The only challenge with this trailer is that depending on whatever harvester we can eventually afford, we may or may not have to remove that extension, because some of them, like there's a Rostelmosh that was just put onto the mod hub today. It I guess was original base game equipment for whatever FS launch that came out in, maybe 22, maybe 19, but it's low, so I don't even know if it would be able to reach this trailer to put anything in it. But so I wonder what there's one more thing I want to accomplish in this episode also, and I think I might have mentioned for less than 10 grand we can purchase the first 3 pallets of wood products that we need in order to get our construction project started. I'm nowhere close to being able to figure out what to do as far as creating planks, so it's possible we may be buying our way into a shed just to get that construction project under our belts. The majority of this wood's probably just going to go into wood chips, and then I mean, they're not, you don't get it doesn't work well it doesn't work well, these scraggly trees, trying to get them into a sawmill to make wood products. So I think we'll probably just buy the first 3 pallets anyway. So maybe what we'll do is when I go to cart the first load of wood chips back to the rail yard, I'll leave these log grabbers back here. We'll go purchase some pallet forks, and then we'll buy the pallets so we can bring them. We can bring back the pallets and get project started, because we don't need anything exotic. We just need 3 different kinds of wood products to get going here. So. And we now just start the rather tedious task of sorting through this, trying to find things that we can actually pick up. There we go. 330 liters out of that one little chunk of wood. It's funny how, like, so as you're playing these games, you know, your plans evolve as you go. There, you know, that other piece of property that we bought for $80,000. While I was running around looking for collectibles, I was finding all kinds of different pieces of property that that I was trying to convince myself to purchase. In the end, I think, you know, that one is pretty sensible. It's nice and close to our main yard, and you know, so it's ready to plant basically. So it's not like I have to do a ton of work to prepare it. The next piece of land we're going to buy is probably going to be the one up on the hill behind the first piece of property with the house, because then we can begin clearing trees out between our sort of shop yard or whatever and the house, and then we can get all those trees processed in time for the winter season. And obviously the top dollar, like, we don't want to miss, what we don't want to do is go past January and have wood that still needs to be processed. We want to get everything kind of done by that point. So it's a lot of work between now and then. I'm only guessing that it's going to be a lot of kind of off-camera stuff, because, like, are you doing the math right now? Do you know how long this is going to take? I thought maybe we could take a peek in there. 2,800 of like 22,000 liters in there already. So I guess I will sort of hammer away here. I have no so the amount of breaks during the recording of this episode, even just now, like, I had a phone call that ended up being quite a bit longer than what I anticipated. A new client with a absolutely ton of questions. So get in there, you. Yeah, so anyways, so this is not the continuity's been a challenge in this episode here. Going in there. Is this doing tree things? There you go. I think I literally have to put my arm in there. Yeah, that's safe. You just stick your arm in there and it'll work. Anyways, yeah, let's see how far we can hammer this out. You know, who knows? This might be a marathon episode. I honestly don't know what we're going to end up achieving by the time this episode's done. But, you know, I appreciate you coming along for the ride anyways. Yeah, anyways, I think what I was trying to say is I want to just keep going here with the wood. I think you can pretty much see what it is I'm going to be doing for the next little while. And we will either be reconvening here again in this game day, or perhaps we'll be waking up to a bunch of wood chips all put away in the month of in the second day in September, and we can perhaps see about getting some seeds in the ground. Anyways, I'll do the math, figure out how long the episode's going to be, and then we'll go there. I don't feel super organized, and I apologize. It's obviously also been a while since I've been making content, so the workflow is a little bit of a challenge. Not to mention, I've been obsessively refreshing the Mod Hub, the website, as I watch for new mods, because you never know when a mod, like they seem to be coming out in a timely fashion. Like Lumberjack came out pretty much exactly when we could have used Lumberjack, you know, stuff like that. So we'll yeah, I'll keep obsessively checking that, and we'll get through as much of this as we can. And I'm going to try not to grind my hands off here too, because obviously if I have to feed these into the wood chipper by hand like that, we could be in trouble. So I will I'll be back, folks. I'll be back. Oi, oi, oi. This is turning out to be a heck of a project. So I literally just put the time down to 1 and plugged away here, filling the wood chipper while I just sent a worker back and forth. So I got the worker coming back. I think I still have quite a few chips in this wood chipper here. The worker should be coming up the hill shortly, hopefully. So we got about 135,000 liters of wood chips in the silo down there now, which has a street value when we get to January of $73,000. Thank you very much. We still have to go up to the other piece of property and clear that one. So so I ended up taking that one additional tree off of this piece, but I'm going to leave. Yeah, I'll show you in a second as I pull up. Don't make me do two things at once. Speak and drive, impossible. Yeah, you see that one tree there on the right before the road. So there was 2 trees there. I took one of them out. We just grinded that up, and now and we're gonna leave the rest on here. So yeah, so once I get the trees, the wood chipped up over on the other lot, we'll send this wood chipper back and resist the urge to just keep on chipping. With $127,000, I don't think I'd have enough to get that other piece of property that I wanted and still be able to put seeds in the ground and stuff. So I mean, there's a couple trees still on. Oh god, okay. I don't even know. The hard part is I don't know how. I don't know how many liters of wood chips are still in the wood chipper, because it doesn't publicize a capacity. Excuse me. It doesn't have. There's nothing to indicate, that what's left. So just sort of just guessing. I'm thinking we may still be able to get a full load. So the way it works, you just keep feeding wood into it. It will put the wood chips into whatever, in this case, this trailer. But then you can just keep feeding wood into it, and it chips it internally. And then eventually, once you get the trailer back empty and underneath it, it just starts filling it again. So I have no idea what's actually in there. But as soon as we get back from the store, we're going to find out. Geez, you can see our tire tracks here. The workers have been going back and forth here all afternoon, and just really wearing a track into this road. And then going back that way, it looks like. It's kind of funny. Definitely didn't, go into this thinking, okay, let's go back to wood chips as a source of income, but it's becoming that. Yeah, so this is the silo that has the storage. I tested there's a what seems like a silo over by where you can rent the barge, but I think you can rent a barge, but I wasn't able to store anything. Needless to say, I don't believe we'll be getting to. Oh look, you can kind of sneak up through here. I hope the train's not coming. I've had a couple close calls with trains in FS25, but no direct contact. It seems to be a little bit more manageable than like when we got on to Silver Run. That train just seemed like it came through at the worst times. I got destroyed so many times by that train. There's our piece of land right up here on the left. It's a beauty. It's going to look nicer when it's got silage bales in it or something, but it's all good. This trailer is incredibly loud. I like what they've done in simulating the sort of metal banging around, but it is quite loud. All right, let's see if we get one more full load out of this. Almost. All right. Well, let's take this show over to the other property. So here's a. You probably knew this was coming. I swear this episode is extremely long. So this I'm gonna go and get the rest of this wood chipped up and put into the silo down by the trains. Then I will get the wood chipper returned. We're going to get ourselves a great night's sleep, and then in the morning we're going to purchase or lease, I don't know yet, a seeder. Grab some seed and some fertilizer, and we're going to go to town. Before I do that, sorry, we're going to create a field there in the one piece of property that we've just been working on. Then we're going to go and throw down probably even some lime in both fields, the new one and anyway, it's our new properties, and then potentially the new liquid lime. There was a mod that came out which basically turns all your sprayers into lime spreaders, even though you'll be spreading liquid lime, which is kind of cool. So we might try that. But yeah, let's just fold this up. Let's fold that up. But yeah, I guess what I am trying to say is I think we're going to call it here, folks. This is a rather disjointed episode that started off with us wanting to do one thing. And I mean, it's been a ton of in-game time to play to this point. But I don't know that it's resulted in the longest video. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. But anyways, we're going to quickly jump into the next one, so hopefully you'll have some close dropping episodes here as we continue on our attempt to survive 25 here on FS25. All right, so please let me know what you think. Call me an idiot if you think so. As far as my flow is just being all over the place, and beyond that, we'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks so much. See ya.